funding you and your organisation?
Biafra people are funding my organization.
Not the Tinubu party.
I have nothing to do with Tinubu. And you know, it's very funny. A lot of people said Tinubu paid me 25 million. How is that possible? How is it possible?
You're denying
he did. I don't know who is Tinubu. I have never communicated with anybody close to him. Just like the way they forged the letter. The reason why this letter issue, Nigeria is a criminal country. They breed criminals, and that's what we're fighting against. The reason why the letter on gets sorted out easily and fast was because it was against Finland, and Finland have to officially react to the letter, and the letter went viral. There are so many lies against me out there on social media. Nobody could come and say it is not true. Okay, so and those lies, when they continue to say it and maintain it, it becomes truth when nobody debunk it.
You talk about criminals. Do you think the candidates for the presidency are criminals?
They are all criminals, yes. All of them.
Even Peter Obi?
Peter Obi is a criminal.
But he's a southerner, isn't he?
He doesn't. I am not a tribal. Listen, I'm not a tribalist. I'm not a tribalist, and that is what makes us different. We want. If I'm criticizing you, I criticize you with fact and figures. I'm going to tell you how all of them are. Do I explain? One, starting from Atiku. Atiku was indicted in the United States for money laundering. He's a criminal. How do you think if Nigeria is a United States, Atiku will come back and start contesting with the criminal record he has to have for money laundering? Tinubu was indicted in the United States for drug pushing. The records are there, so it's criminal. Nigeria is being ruled by criminals, and they breed criminals. Peter Obi his name was in Pandora. He didn't deny it. It's also the part of international money laundering crime. He has $15 million in offshore accounts.
But surely Obi, being a southerner, is on the side of your people.
That is the problem. Why must you have somebody that have to be in the side of my people? That is the dangerous diversity that have brought us this far, because it will never work. Everything about Nigeria is what favors my people. We want a Biafra where everything favors everybody. But when you have Nigeria, it is either Fulani. Now we don't even have Hausa anymore because Fulani have overshadowed them. So it is either you are fighting for Northerner as a Fulani Muslim, or you are fighting for Yorubas, or you are fighting for Igbo people. So how can you continue in that kind of system? This is why we must make sure that we do not validate Nigeria again.
Loyalists of Simon Ekpa, a separatist leader recently arrested in Finland on terrorism-related charges, have vowed to continue the Monday sit-at-home protest in southeast Nigeria. Ngozi Orabueze, identifying as Chief of Staff of the self-declared Biafra Republic government in exile, reaffirmed the action as a voluntary agreement by all Biafrans and praised the Biafra Defense Forces for their resistance against Nigerian security forces. Orabueze also announced plans for a Biafra independence redeclaration in Finland on the 2nd of December, while accusing the Nigerian government of human rights violation.
That the group was proscribed in Enugu State. Nnamdi Kanu and others were meant to meet with the Enugu State government. He missed out on that meeting, and a couple of hours later, the news came that the group had been proscribed. So what are your reactions, first of all, to his arrest by the Finnish government, and then to, and of course, the Enugu State government's reaction as well?
Well, I would tell you, Enugu State government wouldn't go far because Simon Ekpa, for me, is seen as an agent of the Nigerian government. What he does is skit. There are up to 38 different Biafran organizations, and quite a lot of them, if not all of them, are just proxies for the Nigerian state. Simon Ekpa, all he does are skits. Those skits provide the alibi for which the Nigerian government sustains its occupation of eastern Nigeria. You can see Simon Ekpa, yes, is the one you see on social media, but the people on the ground, the checkpoints, Nigerian governments, the places you see, as I'm talking to you right now, they're having problem demobilizing the boys they put together under Pichi for the unknown government operations. They're not demobilized. because the present government doesn't want to be part of it. This was a Buhari, Bichi, an arrangement, and they were not demobilized before Bichi was sacked. And this is a problem. So all these boys you call Ekpa and the rest of them that make noise and make skits as pro-Biafra groups, they are simple vuvuzelas for the Buhari administration, for the Nigerian government, and nobody sees them doing any good for the Igbo. They make skits, the Nigerian government acts because they don't have the capability to stay on the ground to do on the unknown government sting operation. So they provide the enabling narratives for government local actions.
Are you saying, I mean, I need to understand what you're saying. Are you saying that the unknown gunmen, the violence in the southeast, those who have been enforcing the sit-at-home order, the violence that occurred in Anambra State about a week ago, where a few people were murdered, are you saying all of this, is all seemingly orchestrated by the Nigerian government from the Buhari administration till now?
Primarily, the bulk of it, I have said severally since on television, is the Nigerian government. These boys like Ekpa and the rest of them, glittered all over the place, they are skit makers. What they do is they make skits pretending to be who they are not. They are not on the ground. They can perpetrate the violence. What Abacha told you is true. If the violence sustains for more than 72 hours, the government is involved in it. Until today, no prosecutions. It's a government that owns the people on the checkpoints. It's a government that owns the vicinity where you see these things occur. Today, as I'm talking to you, they have problem about demobilization because Bichi left his boys who was working with through Asari Dokubo. Today, they are littered, they are not demobilized. And the current administration and government, and that's one thing I thank Tinubu for. Tinubu walked away from the unknown government sting operation. But you see, them not being demobilized and them just lying everywhere is a problem. So people...
The terrorist state of Nigeria will always try, in one way or the other, to bribe their way into all the different foreign countries, to bribe their way into places like United Nations, African Union, to bribe their way into every internationally established community or organization. The Nigerian government, using the Europeans, using United Kingdom as part of their deal, will always try to disrupt, will always try to tamper with the restoration of Biafra, United States of Biafra. But I want to tell everybody listening here today that the power that Nigerian government has, where they stop, is where this government begins. I need them to know that our Excellency, His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic, Simon Ekpa, has already led a full structure for the restoration of Biafra. Nobody on earth will stop that. We are both at home and we are abroad. Biafra will be restored from diaspora. Our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, has laid the structure by introducing His Excellency Simon Ekpa to be in charge of this ship where we are right now. And that ship is on course. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu, or you all should remember, he is with the Nigerian DSS today because of what we are doing. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu has said, instead of Biafra not to come, Nigeria will be burned to ashes. And I promise you today, instead of Biafra not to come, we, every single individual in Biafra government, in all the structures that our PM has laid down, we will burn Nigeria down. And any country, both international and in homeland, that tries to tamper, that tries to intervene, that tries to stop this restoration, that country will get the brunt of Biafra.
Well, you all know what has been happening on the arrest of Simon Ekpa. But if you don't know, let me quickly bring you guys up to speed. Simon Ekpa, a pro-Biafran agitator, same as Nnamdi Kanu, who is presently in the custody of the Nigeria government. Simon Ekpa was arrested in Finland on alleged terrorism-related activities. And as it stands right now, Simon Ekpa might be remanded until 2025 May. This is serious. A senior detective superintendent at Finland National Bureau of Investigation, Mikko Laaksonen, confirmed this to Nigeria media, that the district court had set May 2025 as a deadline for prosecutors to present possible charges against Simon Ekpa. The Finnish government had last week announced the arrest of Ekpa alongside 4 others on suspicion of terror-related activities, including incitement to violence and terrorism financing. Finnish government confirmed that Simon Ekpa, who has described himself as the self-proclaimed Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, allegedly had used social media to promote violence in the southeast region, targeting civilians' authorities. It is a serious issue. And you all know that most of these foreign countries, that a lot of Biafrans, of course, they do embrace them, saying America is going to help us, this is going to help us. We have reached out to the United Nations, we have reached out. What most of them have said is this, that these countries obey the rule of law. So it means before you are picked for an arrest and you have not been bailed after 24 or 48 hours, it means that your case is beyond the 24 or 48 hours window. Remand is what is presently going on with Simon Ekpa. They said he will be remanded until May 2025. They said this is the deadline for prosecutors to present possible charges against Simon Ekpa. What does that mean? It means that they've already gotten evidence against him, and that is enough for them to remand him. They are bringing up more so as to decide on whatever they need to get done on Simon Ekpa. Is it to extradite Simon Ekpa? Is it to extradite him? Is it to deport him? Is it to strip him of citizenship? Is it to jail him in Finland? Well, the Finnish government had last week announced the arrest of Simon Ekpa, and a lot of people were like not believing it, alongside 4 others on suspicion of terror-related activities, violence, terrorism financing. The Finnish police confirmed that Ekpa described himself as the Prime Minister of Biafra, and they said that is enough for them to begin to look into some of the activities of Simon Ekpa. Well, I know that a lot of people are not happy with the Nigerian state, or the contraption, as some would prefer to call it. They are not happy. They are not comfortable. They are not comfortable at all. And one thing I have also observed, according to the report, is that the Finnish government, apart from collaborating with international organization or with other countries, they are also unwilling to give out certain information that might create some, maybe might excite some people in a way that it should not. They are unwilling to give out certain details. They said they are not going to disclose certain details, but they know that Simon Ekpa will be brought to book on May 2025. In a basic situation regarding the remand, the next possible hearing could be held no earlier than 2 weeks. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, because this case has drawn significant international attention, where the Finnish authorities confirmed cross-border cooperation, and they say it is integral to the investigation. Simply put, they will be gathering intelligence, they'll be seeking for support from countries that have Biafran IPOB members. They will be seeking for to understand better, because what they are talking about terrorism financing, and this matter to them is dear to their heart. It's dear to their heart. To them, they are not comfortable that they are being called out this way. Now, Simon Ekpa became more known to the Nigerian authorities when he asked for a boycott of the 2023 general elections. It wasn't as if they didn't take note of him. They did, but he was not the only actor then. We had the DOS. We had some of them scrambling for position, scrambling to be recognized. The DOS was being threatened at that time. They were at each other's neck. Simon said, "Give me control." Nnamdi Kanu has said that I should take charge. Nnamdi Kanu's brother said, "No, that's not true. He's not powerful." He said it is not true. The issue is that certain people who were kind of pitying the condition of Nnamdi Kanu and they want him out. They felt that Simon Ekpa was being too loud. They felt that Simon Ekpa was being too aggressive, and this could further cause issues and bury the opportunity of Nnamdi Kanu setting foot outside of the custody of the DSS. Well, as serious as it is, I hope and I think there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Like I said, Simon Ekpa gained notoriety amongst those that believe he is not for the good of Nigeria or for the good of Biafra, for his calls to boycott Nigeria's 2023 general elections, which led to violent enforcement measures and attacks on residents. He was first arrested in February 2023 for inciting violence and issuing a sit-at-home order to Igbos and other Southeast residents. They said that all of this prompted some Nigerians, Igbos, urging the Finnish and the Nigerian government to take action. In fact, some people wrote petition to the European Union back then that they should take Simon Ekpa out of circulation. Now, because of the constant push and that, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs summoned the Finnish ambassador to Nigeria, Lina Päivänen, to demand Finland's cooperation in addressing the threat posed by Ekpa. And eventually, they did what they had to do, and now Simon Ekpa is behind bars. They said Simon Ekpa's rhetoric escalated as the days go by, with explicit endorsement of violence and disruptions to election, to whatever. Finnish authorities have linked Simon Ekpa to coordinated attacks targeting civilians and the security forces, with investigations tracing some of these activities back to 2021. They said he uses social media as a platform for incitement, and he didn't stop at that. They said there's also fundraising, and these are the two major issues that Simon Ekpa is going to be facing in court, the Finnish court. They said fundraising and incitement. Like I said, I hope there will be light at the end of the tunnel, and Simon Ekpa will find a better way to proceed on getting Biafra. According to the federal government, they said they have lost about 4 trillion, and particularly Southeast governors, they said they've lost, and the economy, citizens, they said, we've lost about 4 trillion naira, and we cannot continue with this anymore. Enough is enough. We have to do what we need to do to make sure that we checkmate on this and put an end to whatever it is. I'm talking about Southeastern senators and all of them. All of them are saying, oh, that they are hailing the arrest of Simon Ekpa, that this is a significant step towards curbing violence in the Southeast and the insecurity in the Southeast of Nigeria. What are your thoughts about this? Because it's getting serious. All of them are saying, oh, the arrest of Simon Ekpa is something that is very welcome because this will tell all those people at home who are purveyors of violence and those that are joining Simon Ekpa to instigate while he's there in Finland enjoying your donation, living fresh, looking good. His children are safe. He's just there and he's asking you to unleash mayhem, asking you to be involved in all of this. Now, according to a senator, he stressed that IPOB originally sought a non-violent referendum. But this senator from the Southeast lamented how criminals have co-opted the movement. They've corrupted it to unleash mayhem. I don't know how, well, I think when the Eastern security thing started, they misconstrued it. They said, oh, you are beginning to grow wings. But the truth of the matter is that insecurity in the southeast of Nigeria is beyond human understanding. But then, the Nigerian government were ready to deal with insecurity as per their corrupt practices rather than an effective way to handle it. So, to them, they felt, okay, if we allow Nnamdi Kanu to proceed with this Eastern security network, they will grow wings. And before you know it, they will want to control the part of Southeast. Before you know it, they will bring in weapons. And we will have another issue to deal with. This is how it all started. And I'll tell you the truth. There are some rogues in the Southeast who are into robbery, kidnapping, and a host of other. All of them are hiding under IPOB or Biafra. So this issue is it's a serious issue. It's a serious issue. Now, speaking on the purported plot by IPOB to declare the Republic of Biafra on December 2nd, the counsel for the group, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, called for peace and unity in the Southeast, urging those involved in violence and false agitations to abandon their divisive actions. The lawyer dismissed rumors circulating on social media about the planned Biafran declaration, reassuring that the day would pass without incident. Ejiofor, in a statement on Monday, advised residents of the region to reject the baseless claims surrounding the event, emphasizing that freedom cannot be achieved through violence. The lawyer cautioned those being misled by Simon Ekpa, whom he has described as a serial fraudster. This is coming from the lawyer representing Nnamdi Kanu. He said Simon Ekpa is a serial fraudster. That Simon Ekpa is simply using this IPOB as a means of transferring Yahoo, 419, fraud, money back and forth, standing on I am IPOB, I am this, using it to fleece IPOB members and other people. They said this is what they are into. He urged individuals to sit by Simon Ekpa's claim to reconsider their actions and cease supporting the false narrative. He reflected on the criticism he had faced in the past for opposing these claims, noting that time has proven him right. He said, I have always maintained that lies, deceit, fraud, treachery, and criminality have an expiry date. When the truth reaches its breaking point, it is inevitable. It is game over. To those clinging to the baseless December declaration, be rest assured, December will come and go uneventfully. Well, in the past, he ended when fanatical claims about fighter jets and warships were peddled as obvious tools for self-aggrandizement by the serial fraudster in Finland. I warn those willing to listen that they have been swindled. My stance earned me severe criticism, threats, and defamation. These are some of the positioning of Simon Ekpa.
I say a very big thank you to those who have taken time to subscribe to this channel. And if you're yet to subscribe, kindly tap on that subscription button and also the red bell icon so you will be notified whenever videos such as this are uploaded.